The body, this body, which was once my universe, is now a pittance carried by the soul. Its Titan's motion bears this scanty purse, pacing through vastness to a vaster goal. Too small was it to meet the giant need that only infinitude can satisfy. He keeps it still, for in the folds is hid his secret passport to eternity. In his front, an endless time and space deploy the landscape of their golden happenings. His heart is filled with sweet and violent joy. His mind is upon great and distant things. How grown with all the world's conterminous is the little dweller in this narrow house.
I'd like to talk about this a little bit because it is so extraordinary. Here, Sri Aurobindo capitalizes the word Titan.
The Titan's motion. By Titan, he just means that which refuses to receive the higher light. It has nothing to do with the titans of the other worlds.
And so he agrees that the body is important. It's very clear.
Very clear. One with the eternal consciousness, so that everything in the world, for his eyes, for everything in the world could see the truth behind the thing itself. And he found that everywhere it was the Lord's own light that was coming through. More or less, that didn't matter to him, because each received according to its own inner aspiration and power. So he just marked the greatness of the Lord who worked through everything as best as possible. This is the second poem on the same subject, liberation. My mind, my soul grow larger than all space. Time found us in that vastness, glad and nude. The body fades, an outline, a dim trace, a memory in the spirit's solitude. This universe is a vanishing circumstance in the glory of a white infinity, beautiful and bare for the immortals' dance. House room of my immense felicity. In the thrilled, happy giant void within, thought, lost in light and passion, drowned in bliss, changing into a stillness high line, obey the edict of the Eternal's peace. Life's now the ineffable's dominion. Nature is ended, and the spirit alone. Too much.
Yes. But when he says nature is ended, he means the nature that is still ignorant, I believe. Not fully conscious.
Not fully
So
conscious, yes.
nature is ended and only the spirit lives. The spirit alone. So when he speaks about his mind and his soul are larger than all space, because time and the body are not important anymore. Time founders in that vastness, the body fades, an outline, a dim trace. So he sees the body as a memory in the spirit's solitude. Even the universe is a vanishing circumstance. In that white infinity. So beautiful.
So strange and exceptional for us,
Yes.
but
Yes, because
it is true for him
Yes.
and natural.
Yes.
I think I have told you the story of darshan, where when I went for darshan before 1950, Mother used to meditate for 1 whole hour before coming for darshan,
Yes.
because she was preoccupied with the material things and she had to detach herself from all that to express her own universal and transcendental self.
Yes.
So I was told by my parents that Mother sees us every day, that is her personal side. But today you will pray to her. She has a transcendental and universal side. So I was reading Savitri, and Mother had told me that Sri Aurobindo himself had chosen me for the role of Savitri. So I just went without thinking of anything. And after bowing down to Mother, when I looked at Sri Aurobindo, the line simply came through me. I didn't do it with a mental consciousness of Savitri's line. I have seen the eternal in a human face. And he smiled and blessed me so. So this is like that. The self's infinity. I have become what before time I was. A secret touch has quieted thought and sense. All things by the agent mind created pass into a void and mute magnificence. My life is a silence grasped by timeless hands. The world is drowned in an immortal gaze. Naked my spirit from its vestures stands. I am alone with my own self for space. My heart is a center of infinity, my body a dot in the soul's vast expanse. All being's huge abyss wakes under me, once screened in a gigantic ignorance. A momentless immensity, pure and bare, I stretch to an eternal everywhere.
It's very beautiful when he says that all things by the agent mind created pass into a void and mute magnificence. So he is no longer attached to the mind or to his life, which is a silence grasped by timeless hands. And now that line that always touches me. Naked my spirit from its vestures stand, from its dress.
Vesture is the nature itself.
Yes.
Is like a dress worn over the inner self.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Yes, I think that is correct. Yes.
The guest. I have discovered my deep, deathless being, masked by my front of mind, immense, serene. It meets the world with an immortal seeing, a God spectator of the human scene. No pain and sorrow of the heart and flesh can tread that pure and voiceless sanctuary. Danger and fear, fate's hounds, slipping their leash, rend body and nerve. The timeless spirit is free. Awake, God's ray and witness in my breast, in the undying substance of my soul, flame-like, inscrutable, the almighty guest. Death nearer comes, and destiny takes her toll. He hears the blows that shatter nature's house. Calm sits he, formidable, luminous.
This is complex, very complex. So now he says that he has discovered his deathless being that used to be masked by the front of mind. and now it's serene and meeting the world with an immortal seeing. And then he talks about pain and sorrow. It's no longer in the heart or in the flesh. Now, danger and fear, the hounds of fate, oh, slipping their leash, getting off their leash, rend body and nerve, but the timeless spirit is free. So, when he says death nearer comes, and destiny takes her toll, do you feel that Sri Aurobindo was foreseeing his need to leave the body?
I can't say. One can never say what he
Yes.
actually means by our mind, because he feels one thing here, and he's also this thing a little behind. He's also that thing all around, you know.
And beyond it.
Beyond. So it matters little to him whether he is there in the body or not. And that is why after he left his body, within 3 years, Mother had said, he is entirely with us. Whoever makes an effort, he will, to understand him, he will give the...
Did Mother speak to you from time to time about Sri Aurobindo?
No. She had told me, as I said, in 1949, il t'a lui-même décerné pour ce rôle. He has himself chosen you for the role of Savitri. And I think he liked our recitation long before 1949. I think it was in 44 or 45, or was it in 46? 45, I think. In 1945, we had recited the prologue of Verses to Deliverer.
Yes, you mentioned.
Upstairs. I think I told you about it.
Yes.
And I had done the role of Afrini. And Mother had said, toi tu pourras faire, tu as le sentiment. You will be able to do, you have the feeling. And I understood what she meant a few hours later. She meant I could express a feeling through the reading, through the lines. And I had to protect my voice, that's why, because it is the instrument. And I understood that at that moment I had let my mind remember all that I had read about Perseus in the legends, all that I had read about Syria or Andromeda in the legends, you know. Somehow what I had gathered came into my, and that's right through my recitation. That's what she meant, you are something, you have a feeling. But that was dependent on what had already happened in myself and my mind through my studies and meditation.
Did Mother ever correct you?
Ever?
Correct you?
Not really. Because once when I had asked for an interview, it was the very first recording of lines from Savitri. One shall descend, who should change the iron law, break nature's doom by the lone spirit's power. Kolkata Pathmandir, center of Sri Aurobindo's studies, had asked for a recording. And it was the very first time that lines would be recorded. So I was very frightened. Mother had not yet recorded anything. So I asked Mother for an interview. I said, Mother said, tu lis mieux que moi, you read better than I do. So I said, but Mother, you understand better than all of us what is said there. And Mother said, it will be all right. And at another time, when I was reciting in front of her, I was doing the role of Savitri, the goddess, I think, who gives the assurance to Ashwapati that she will come down on earth. I think we were doing that part. And Mother told me the next morning, every word in Sri Aurobindo's writing has a meaning. You mustn't slur over words as you do in everyday speech. There shall be light and peace in all the worlds. Not there shall be light and peace in all the worlds. Don't slur over words as you do in normal speech. That she had told me.
I'm sure you have listened to other ashramites reciting Savitri.
No, she didn't.
No Nirodbaran?
I don't think she had said anything.
No, you
To me?
You have listened to some of them? You listened to Amal or Nirodbaran reading Savitri?
No, I don't think I have heard. I don't think I have heard.
You remember some more lines from that passage?
I compared, I think I spoke about the quantitative meter the other day.
A little bit only.
Yeah. It is very important for us to remember that because, as Mother had said, every word in Sri Aurobindo's writing has a meaning. You mustn't slur over words. There shall be light and peace in all the worlds. No, in all the worlds. Every word has a... So I told Mother one year that I was a little afraid of something that came in the way. Mother had said there has to be no fear in the mind. You read well, you just do your best, that's all. Something like that, these are not the exact words. And then, in 1949, I've told you, she told me, il t'a lui-même décerné pour ce rôle. He has himself chosen you for this role. And afterwards, when I recited Savitri, the goddess, giving her assurance to Ashwapati. The role was done by Manoj. Ashwapati was done by Manoj. And a foreign actor had done the long recitative lines. And he had done it in a slightly uniform way, without inflection.
No inflection.
So Manoj complained to the mother, "Mother, what is this?" Mother said, "It is the modern way of doing the thing." And I called it is like reading from the book. It is as if I was turning the pages over and reading when that simple way of without any inflection, the lines were said. I think in a way it gave the right value to the words of Sri Aurobindo, because with inflection we are introducing our mental understanding and we are not conveying his words pure and simple. So without intonation, when we say, there shall be light and peace in all the worlds, we are reading as if the books. Whereas if we give the intonation, there shall be light and peace in all the worlds, we are introducing our impression. That is why what is conveyed is colored with our mind, whereas the separate wordings give you the impression of seeing the letters themselves in the book.
And what about very slowly reading the lines?
Slow and fast is a relative term, but we mustn't read too fast, because for us all the words exist, but those who are listening to us, they are listening in the voice of another person. Even if they have read the lines and they are familiar, they have to grasp what the person who is reciting wants to say. Because even if we keep ourselves as personal as possible, it is still the person who is saying.
Do you inflect at all?
In French, I have recited quite a bit in front of Mother, and she likes my intonation. And in fact, she had chosen for 1 year the play by Racine on the Christian theme of Esther, who pleads to leave the early Christians protected. She's pleading to the king himself and the queen. So Esther is that person, and Racine has a whole play on Esther. We had done the most important part of it, and Mother had told me, this time you have 2 long recitations, Esther and Savitri, both to be done on the 1st of December. Afterwards, the idea of doing the French was dropped, so there was no question. But at that time, Mother said, but Racine, it is very easy to remember. His lines are so musical that you read once and you remember it. That's what she had said about Racine. The 17th century is a great classical age, known as the classical age in French literature, where Corneille, the one who had first done the French transmutation, I can't say translation, of the Spanish El Cid. So he had said Le Cid, and where the princess falls for the prince of the opposite region, I think. And so Mother says it is very, I think she said, very significant turn of the events in the world to accept Christianity, because Charlemagne the Great emperor tried to unite Europe through Christian religion. And he said that was the only way to save Europe, according to him. That there was much resistance. So, in this El Cid, Le Cid, the princess falls for Rodrigue, who is of the opposite house. So, but it was so successful that in the 19th century, Boileau, the commentator on French literature and culture, says, I remember that beautiful line, so I'm quoting, Tout Paris aux chimènes à les yeux de Rodrigue. The whole of Paris has the eyes of Rodrigue for the Princess Chimène. Tout Paris pour Chimène à les yeux de Rodrigue. It's a very beautiful line. How the change occurred quite suddenly and so naturally. Yes, it is a miracle of birth, of the human birth in time. In India, we have the concept that death is not really death, but birth in another aspect where we go in a way ahead from the previous one, gathering whatever is positive in that previous birth and fill in again with aspiration for truth, good and beauty. In French, le vrai, le bien et le beau. In India, Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. The Trinity who guide the world. So that is the miracle of birth. We are born in the world to be able to express more of this Trinity. The miracle of birth. I saw my soul, a traveler through time. From life to life, the cosmic ways it trod, obscure in the depths and on the heights sublime. Evolving from the worm into the God. A spark of the eternal fire, it came to build a house in matter for the unborn. The inconscient, sunless night received the flame. In the brute seed of things dumb and forlorn, life stirred, and thought outlined a gleaming shape, till on the stark, inanimate earth could move, born to somnambulist nature in her sleep, a thinking creature who can hope and love. Still, by slow steps, the miracle goes on. The immortal's gradual birth, mid mire and stone.
Did you have out-of-body experiences very often? Did you go out of your body very often?
My?
No, did you go out of your body?
Occasionally in my waking condition, while studying, I would feel that I'm growing out, up, and coming in touch with something. But in my sleep, I had experienced quite a few things, but I couldn't go out on my own. If mother desired it, she would sort of pull out. And after mother left her body, I had asked Nolinikantagupta how to concentrate before we go to sleep. We concentrate all the nexus from below upwards or from... He said, do as you feel. So each nexus, which is like a chakra, I got into the habit of doing it from the ankles to the head. And as I lay asleep, I would say, Mother, look after me, sort of above the head. And things would happen during my sleep. One particular thing happened, I think I spoke of it. I was sort of pulled out and taken into the world of nowhere, inconscient. And Sri Aurobindo afterwards praised my understanding, because down there, without any reference, I remembered Mother's 1st of January message, I think of 1960, tout au fond de l'inconscient, la plus noire, la plus rigide, at the heart of the inconscient, the most... her spirit was like projected out of it, like with a spring, she says. So when I was pulled out like that and I went into that region, I remembered that message without any prompting. And I said, I will also come out. And came out gradually, and Sri Aurobindo praised my memory. Said without reference, she remembered that message of the mother's. And I had done a painting where I had done a type of form which I accepted as the human form, just a round and a figure coming out in different colors. First dark, then a little lighter, then orange, then yellow, and then white with a tinge of blue. I will try and find out that painting.
Could you speak a little bit about the opening of the chakras? In your experience?
You know, the opening was created by the mother. We just prayed for it by concentrating, by becoming conscious of it. Some were conscious of the lower chakras, some were not conscious of the lower chakras. They took it as part of themselves. But I made myself conscious of all the chakras because I had to recite from Savitri, and I had to prepare my outer being for it. And in the poem he says, all in her pointed to a greater kind, and especially the line, her mind a sea of white sincerity. That was my key line. I said I must concentrate on that line in such a way that when I recite, only that is present. It may not my personal self. So that's how I happened to say on a particular darshan day, I have seen the eternal in a human face. I have, while I looked at him, it was always a great experience. I had seen from 1949 onwards, so 8 darshans I have been to, where Mother and Sri Aurobindo were seated together. The word of the silence. A bare, impersonal hush is now my mind, a world of sight, clear and inimitable, a volume of silence by a Godhead signed, a greatness pure of thought, virgin of will. Once on its pages, ignorance could write in a scribble of intellect the blind guess of time and cast gleam messages of ephemeral light, a food for souls that wander on nature's rim. But now I listen to a greater word born from the mute, unseen, omniscient ray. The voice that only silence's ear has heard leaps missioned from an eternal glory of day. All turns from a wideness and unbroken peace to a tumult of joy in a sea of wide release.
Now, it seems that there's such a difference in American English and British English. Now, you pronounce the word inimitable.
Inimitable.
Yes. And we would pronounce it in American inimitable. Inimitable. And you pronounce it inimitable.
I'm not quite sure whether I was American or British or Indian, but
that's a very good point.
Because the structure of sentences in Indian languages is very different. So it is difficult to confuse the two. But the mentality, the mind which understands has a different quality, and normally the Indian has, without knowing or knowingly, a secure basis of past, present and future, the continuity of life. It is not a separate life. We've had other lives before this, and from one life to another, we carry the experience that was true to the next life, so that we may progress and be more completely conscious. The purpose of life on earth, I think that is inherent in most Indians, because there's that belief of life after life, life to life, you know. Whereas in the other countries it is just one life and then another life. It is separate like that. Surrender. O thou of whom I am the instrument, O secret spirit and nature housed in me, let all my mortal being now be blent in thy still glory of divinity. I have given my mind to be thy channel mind. I have offered up my will to be thy will. Let nothing of myself be left behind in our union, mystic and unutterable. My heart shall throb with the world beats of thy love. My body become thy engine for earth use. In my nerves and veins thy rapture's streams shall move. My thoughts shall be hounds of light for thy power to lose. Keep only my soul to adore eternally and meet thee in each form and soul of thee.